thing is, even I follow some film critics to see how they feel about some movies.
Like I spoke to Zoya Akhtar, and she was very happy to host the screening of this film and take it forward. There's a lot for the world to discover in India, and we can keep giving from mainstream to art house. Everything in between is what India can offer. Oscar campaigns, there's all of that's going on, but our focus is mainly to get people to watch it.
Beauty with brains, Rana Daggubatti.
Wow, thanks.
Hi and welcome back. My name is Sucharita and I'm sitting here with Payal Kapadia. Hello.
Hello.
And Beauty with brains, Rana Daggubati.
Wow. Thanks.
I knew that would land. Beauty with brains.
Okay.
I mean,
go for it.
it's a good one, no? Because, I'm very used to being called that. I'm very happy with that title. But you deserve it also. Congrats on this tie-up, you guys. What a wonderful thing. This is the hottest thing that, that's on the circuit right now. This film, All We Imagine Is Light. And you're just hot. So it's a good...
It's a good mix?
It's a good match. This is going to be my clip for Instagram. Jokes aside, Rana, were you, I know you said this, that your team brought you the film after it did all these amazing things at Cannes. Did you then go back and see the coverage it got at Cannes, all the reviews and how people had interacted?
I just watched the film.
That's it?
Yeah, these reviews and all that, like, it's very opinionated. Everyone has a certain opinion. I don't know what kind of audience are there who watched it at the Cannes. Like, I watched films at the Cannes, but they're so diverse every time I watch stuff. So, unless you watch the film, you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And in India, if something's worked at a festival, there's not a very conventional way things move forward in the country. But then here, as soon as I watched the film, it was, again, I've come from the south, so I watched a lot of Malayalam films growing up and even now. And this has a certain meter which is pretty normal. If you're from the south of India, it feels like a regular film, Malayalam film that's released.
Right on.
So to me, it was as mainstream as it got. I was just amazed with the craft, with the people in the film. They're just fabulous here.
Yeah.
And in the first 30-40 minutes of the film, you're with them. You forget that it's a movie. It's your part with their lives, and it's stuff that you've seen so much in your real world, whether it's nurses, whether it's hospitals. And just knowing their lives is beautiful. And it was set against Bombay. Yeah. And to me also Bombay is almost home, but then it can spit you out and it just can be a nobody right here.
Yeah.
So I think all of that came through so beautifully in this film, and hence I'm here.
But Payal, your film has had a very intense relationship with criticism and with reviews because it got spoken about so much. Even before it, like the minute it was announced that it's competing for Palm d'Or, everybody just like started writing for the film. It's in this, and then after 30 years, and then the film released, and you got all these incredible, massive publications around the world. Talk to me about your relationship with film criticism as it pertains to your body of work.
Film criticism is very important. Then people get to, it's not that you will follow every critic. I will say, okay, I like how Sujitara looks at films, and maybe I'll follow only her. The thing is, even I follow some film critics to see how they feel about some movies. I feel like, okay, we have similar taste. So every critic is not for you as an audience, but somebody will be there who you consistently think, acha yeah, she recommended me this film, she wrote like this about it, and then I went and watched it and I liked it. So I have one or two people like that, like Peter Bradshaw, somebody that we've all grown up reading, and so when he gave us a good review, I was actually nervous about it. Then it was nice, so it was good.
I do think that it helped the film's journey also, the way it was spoken about after the festival. But we've celebrated this a couple of days ago when we were sitting here with the cast, like women should be able to tell their own stories, women telling women's stories is a thing, but also we can talk about, our stories, but we need men as allies also who wield power in the social dynamics and structures that all of us exist in, to come forth and stand by us and to enable that. So, it's very nice and impressive that you've done that for this film, so thank you.
Thank you. It's just an awesome film, and I think it needs everything that, whether it's man, women, that doesn't matter, it's beyond that, I think.
We exist in all these power dynamics and these structures, and, we've got to
But a good film
together.
will cut across that very, very quickly.
Yeah.
But it's also very nice for me because to have a collaboration with somebody who is so, well known in the film industry, and this collaboration, I think, is really can be in more films also.
Oh, for sure.
Because, like Rishabh Shetty, for example, he also supports independent films. So, like this, I think if both industries are not two industries but one, and it would be just a nice collaboration and growth.
I mean, if there's any film that breaks that binary of North versus South, that's all we imagine is light. And you've said this before as well. This is as pan-India as it gets.
Completely.
Doesn't get more pan-India than this. So then when you found this film and you watched it and you fell in love with it, did you go back and watch Payal's previous film?
No.
Night of Noon.
I will, but after
We will do a special screening.
We'll do, I'm going to do a Payal festival after this.
Yeah.
This round
All the
is done.
shorts and everything.
Yeah,
we should buy him a Criterion subscription so he can watch it also in his time. The Night of Knowing Nothing. It's a wonderful film, Rana. You must watch. So then, I'm going to, the elephant in the room. Are we doing an Oscar campaign for the film? What is the plan? What is happening?
One is, there are, I mean, the beauty of this film is there's so many international distributors for the film. It's out in France, it'll be out in the US, it's out in Italy. I'm saying it's out independently and everyone's figuring out their own race. And I just feel like, okay, the merit of the film has got it here, the merit of the film will take it where it has to go.
Yeah, we do have a lot of different countries screening the film. I mean, releasing in different countries over the next 2 months. In fact, our US release is on 15th November. And the thing is that I think it really depends on the distributor in America, what they want to do with it and see what response they get. And accordingly, you'll see.
Yeah. But do you compare notes with the international distributors as well? Does the Spirit team align with Janus and things like that?
So you understand audiences in a different manner, right, while doing it. But then ultimately in India, our aim is to make sure a lot of people watch it in India. And how do we make cinema like this more and more popular? So that's really our agenda beyond everything else.
Now explain it to me, Rana, like I'm 12 years old. When Spirit comes on board a film like this, what is it that Spirit brings to the table as distributors?
So first, it's understanding where the audience for a film like this is. Finding what the right pockets are, because there is an audience in India, but because of the largeness of the country, you don't know where these pockets actually lie. So making sure that film reaches cinemas that are close to them becomes the first agenda. So then marketing the film to the right people in the right manner. And what is lovely about this film is a meeting just happened yesterday. Like I spoke to Zoya Akhtar, and she was very happy to host the screening of this film and take it forward. So any industry, anyone that I'm speaking to about the film, the minute, even if they don't know about the minute they watch it, everything changes very quickly. So I know there is that support for cinema like this. It's just that we just have to reach out and keep doing this more consistently.
And what were you hoping in the ideal distributor who comes on board to distribute the film in India?
Like I said, I met in distributors and I felt that the plan that they had, which was, they had a really sense of, the exhibitors and the landscape that is there and how the film cannot get lost and they did like a short release in Kerala, which made a lot of people talk about the film. And that was really surprising and nice to see because people really went for it. So I think they've thought about like how to put it out and how to talk about the film and like just to make sure that it's taken care of.
It's a dream come true.
It really is.
Really is. I mean, look at you, blushing and happy. But this is the first time that your Spirit has stepped out of Telugu cinema, right?
Yes, actually.
What is the vision? What is the larger plan?
We always did Telugu cinema because we're from there. It's 2 states, so you just understand how to get that place to hear about the film. Although we never had festivals, we had nothing. We watched the film, did multiple screenings across cities, and we gathered audience, right?
Yeah.
And but when we saw this film, we were like, it's so amazing. Now we have to break our comfort zone, get out. We've released films in Hindi earlier, but they've always been mainstream. Like our Hindi journey really started with a film called The Ghazi Attack,
of course,
which was a submarine film that we were trying to make in Telugu, landed up in Hindi. So we knew there's a mechanism of doing this and making it successful. There's enough distributors that we know. And also this film being Malayalam, in every which way, in most ways rather, gets a mainstream release there. So things were comfortable, and see, unless we're able to add some value, I don't think we should come on board, right? And we just thought this was a film that could add great value to us, and we could do the same.
I was just speaking with an actor, and we were discussing this, how Indian films are traveling internationally and how people are responding at film festivals to Indian films, etc. And they're getting releases and things like that. Kill, this film just got a massive release in the United States, mainstream release in the United States. Rana, what are your views on how Indian cinema is traveling internationally right now and being perceived by the world?
One is there is a large Indian movement that's happening. Because of all the other curious things in the world that I think done, and India is the most curious spot, and you can keep discovering new things all the time.
Yeah.
I think, like, let's take from basic regular movies of ours, right? Like, US used to be like $100,000 or a $500,000 market, like say 10 years ago. Today we make $20 million out of that place. So now it suddenly changed the whole landscape of what we do, what we watch. Earlier we used to have like a 30-country release or a 40-country release. Now we do 100-country release. So one is the diaspora has grown pretty dramatically globally, and the want or curiosity of India has become much larger. I think in the last few years, whether it's the platforms coming into the country, whether it's more international press viewing us, they know that there's more cinema than Hindi, because for them it's unlike any other country, right? They feel like one country has one industry, but we are one country that has 10.
Yeah.
And different parts of the country churn out very different movies. So I think there's a lot for the world to discover in India, and we can keep giving from mainstream to art house. Everything in between is what India can offer.
Now, as Spirit, have you been tracking, like, from your organization, how Indian films, for instance, RRR did internationally, and what their plans were and how they got to that stage, and even the Elephant Whisperers at Sikya, how they got to that stage? Are there learnings from these journeys of these films?
Yeah,
all that breeds as well?
Yeah, consistently. I think everything, see, for Telugu, it's like all of us do it from the same place in that sense. So whether it was Bahubali, RRR, all of them use a similar route. Mainstream has a little more organized sector now in the US, because it's consistently been doing well, from independent distributors, from people who thought they were side hustles or gigs. Now we have a main distribution network there.
Yeah.
And I think we'll just start opening that up one by one. There's Oscar campaigns, there's all of that's going on, but our focus is mainly to get people to watch it.
Yeah.
So that's been always our agenda, whatever movie we make.
When international audiences interact with your film, now at Cannes, obviously, it was majority French press, but like also press from all over the world. What are the differences that you are noticing now that people in India are interacting with All We Imagine Is Light? Are you seeing any
Like journalists?
Journalists and just people who've spoken to you about the film, who managed to watch it at like Mami and other places?
I think we've had a pretty nice response. People were really warm, and I think everybody was very curious, because the film hadn't come out in Mumbai before. This is the first time it got screened, and it's at the end of the day a film based in Mumbai. So I think Mumbaikars were all very curious, or even people who are not from Mumbai but have made Mumbai their home, because that's also the premise of the film, were also very curious to watch it and respond to it. So overall I think it's been quite a nice response, and what I enjoy so much about screening it here is that there are so many nuances in the film that you put, and it's only people who live here or know the city or know these things that will catch those little extra Easter eggs, nuggets, which you will not get in the West, because they don't know so many things.
Yeah.
So here I don't need to explain. They know. Everybody knows what it's like to travel in a train, what it's like to be stuck in the monsoon. So those are identifiable things, and
and what it is like to travel in Mumbai Metro versus Mumbai Local. Those are two completely different things, and two completely different class of people use those modes of transport. I hate to put you guys in this spot, but I don't. But what is your favorite thing about the film? What is, like, which performance, a moment, a scene that like really you took home with you?
I think Divya. It just blew my mind. Like
Divya Prabha.
Yeah, Divya Prabha. She many things like that stick in our mind. See, first it started with the relationship between Kani and Divya in that sense.
Yeah.
Like you don't know who's older, who's not, but then there's something each of them take from each other. There's so much love, friendship, respect, but they draw that line between each other. Like those were special things for me as soon as I watched. For me, Chaya being just saying that, listen, I asked my neighbors that I lived here for so long. Like she didn't have proof to that. Like there were simple, innocent things. Though they live so much in the city, though they have seen some form of security in the city, there's no security one quick day.
Yeah.
And to me, watching the beginning of the film and then the later part of the film, right, it's like, here you go, they have so many worlds within their world. it's somewhere, it's a choice that you make,
Yeah.
and it's also where you need to lead life. So it's moments are many moments, whether it's the cooker comes in, there's just too many moments in the film that I can take off.
We had a very detailed discussion about the cooker last time.
Cooker.
That a great scene, great moment. Now you've made a very it's a serious film. It's dealing with serious issues about freedom and autonomy and friendships and relationships. But you're a goofball in real life,
Very much.
Like you're very goofy, and you told me that on your set you all are dancing and doing like all these fun things. Will you make a comedy film? Do you think a slapstick comedy is in your future?
Really want to. And comedy is really hard to do. Like to be effortlessly doing comedy, that is a great skill. So I have to hone my skills first in that direction and get some goofiness in the next film.
Please produce, huh? When
Most
you
certainly,
make a
most
comedy
certainly.
film, please help make this happen. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. Good luck for the film's
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
release, and I'm a champion. I will champion your film until the end of time and whatever you make next. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.